In today's vlog, I'm going to show you how I'm taking care of the greenhouse and the vegetables. The temperature of night gets very, very cold and I cover the plants. So you're going to see me putting on covers, taking off covers, and just talking about the upkeep on the greenhouse. This is my first year with a greenhouse. I have raised most of these plants in the garden with the little hoops like you see here with frost covers over them. But the greenhouse makes it so much easier for me. Yes, it was a big expense, but you have to remember this thing's going to last for years. Hopefully I will too. And I'll get a lot of use out of it. All right, now let's get into today's vlog. We'd like to invite you to follow us as we take on this new adventure of the greenhouse. As I said earlier, I have raised these plants before, but doing it in a greenhouse is totally different. So if this is something that interests you, why not go ahead and subscribe to our channel and click the notification bells. I don't post a lot of videos about the greenhouse, but there will be several. And if you have the little bell notified, you'll know when there's a new one. There's also a playlist. If you go to my channel, which is at Tennessee Mountain Garden on YouTube. Hopefully you'll enjoy our videos about the greenhouse and get a lot of good information that you can use. If you have questions on anything that we're doing in the greenhouse, be sure and leave some comments below and I'll do my best to answer those for you. It's 8 o'clock, actually it's 8:07 on Monday, December the 11th. And if you can look at that, right now, it's 30 degrees. Now, it's going to be mostly sunny today, so that greenhouse is going to heat up. But this was one of our colder evenings. It was a little bit colder than this at about 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock this morning. But 30 is still 2 degrees below freezing here. So let's go take a look at the greenhouse. Yes, you should be able to hear the dog barking there in the background. She's in the sunroom. She can see me, but she's not out here with me. I can't hold her and do anything. She just wants to do what she wants to do, and she's constantly jerking me one way or another. But as you can see, the greenhouse has got some condensation on it this morning. And as I said, it's been very cold this morning. But let's see what the temps in here. All right, and this is the part that's amazing. I did come out here earlier this morning at around 7, and the temperature was about 38. It's already climbed up to nearly 60, and that's because this sun is coming through on the plastic. Now, I covered everything last night because I knew it was going to be one of our colder nights. And as you can see on my frost covers, I just use clothespins on these little fiberglass rods. These little fiberglass rods are one of the best things I bought. And I can see that my little cheap onions that I bought on the clearance rack at Lowe's are really starting to sprout and come on out of there. I'll have some green onions. Probably in another month I could pick some green onions. But as I said, I need to go ahead and get these frost covers off because it's going to get a little warm in here. And with the sun coming up and being as pretty as it is today, I'm quite sure that with that temperature already almost 60, I'll be rolling up at least one side and open the glass on both of the storm doors. I'm not letting you in here, Lily Mae. Let me show you what's going on here. Over in this bed, I have taken out all of the lettuce roots. I had done some of it, it's come again. But I've got a whole tray full of lettuce, quite a few plants. For those of you that wonder where my plants come from for my greenhouse, I don't plant seeds directly in it. I actually have this little grow room set up here in the garage. I call it a room, but actually it's just a shelving. And I have already started more lettuce plants, and I've got to get these in the garden. They're getting quite large just sitting here in this seed tray. And as I said, I did find these onions on the clearance rack at Lowe's with all the spring bulbs, and so I picked up a little container of the white ones and the red ones, and they had yellow, but every one of the yellow ones was just nothing but mush, so I knew better than to bring them home. But apparently the red ones and the yellow ones would store well. Whatever that yellow one was, it wasn't a storage onion. And this right here is absolutely amazing. I've been eating on this lettuce, and it's been in the ground quite a while. And I keep saying I'm going to take some of that dill in and make me some dill dip. Today'll be the day. I'm going to take some in. Now, we eat all of the radishes that were down on this end, so I replanted them, and they're doing quite well. They're coming up. I'm keeping them good and moist, and I have pulled all of the old radishes because up and underneath there I had quite a few. And look at the color. Isn't that color absolutely beautiful on that Swiss chard? That needs to be harvested as well, and I just harvest it as I use it. And I did end up with, I said 2, but when I thinned it out, there's actually 4 little pak choys there. But that'll all be eaten as well. My sprouting broccoli's doing amazing. And as I said, I just put that in 5-gallon buckets, and you can see those are buckets that came from Lowe's. Some of them I've had for several years. As a matter of fact, I raised tomatoes in these in my detached garage at the other house. And I've got quite a few cabbages here. I say quite a few. I've got 4 cabbages and 2 dino kales here. And I did get put together another bed, and I intend to get it ready. I'll eventually sow it down in carrots. The herbs that I brought in, I know most of these would have survived out in the yard. There was not any need to leave them out there in the harsh temps. I can actually harvest this stuff, and I can use it for cooking this winter. One of the things I have to do every morning is check and see what the temperature is on the inside of the greenhouse. If it's a sunny day, most every morning I'm going to have to roll up at least one side of the greenhouse, sometimes both. And the storm doors both have glass panels that'll slide up. So I slide those up so we can get airflow from that direction as well. That airflow is essential in keeping the greenhouse from overheating. It's going to get down supposedly to about 25 degrees Fahrenheit tonight. And hopefully this will offer enough protection. And yes, this is frost covers that I've had for quite some time. I take and hang this across a rope that I tie from, well, at the old house it was tied from a tree to the edge of the deck. I throw the frost cover over it at the end of the season, and I wash it down with a water hose. That's all I've done. Now this one looks like it hasn't been washed, but I'm not sure that it has. But all of this is recycled. I always try to get the most I can out of the things I buy. the landfill's full of too much junk now. So I try to buy something that's going to be sturdy enough. And no, this is not real expensive. Most of this actually was ordered online. Cheapest place I found it with the grade I wanted for the frost cover was actually from Walmart several years back. And right now we're right at the 50-degree mark. So we'll see how it holds up tonight.